look good.
Shout out Kendrick Lamar. And that's today's video. We're just going to talk about how amazing Kendrick Lamar is. I just talk about...
Chase wishes my YouTube channel was. You can make your own channel.
Okay.
Let's do a Q&A. I asked a bunch of questions.
She asked a bunch of questions.
No, I didn't. I asked people to ask us questions about our life here.
And we're going to answer them to our best ability. We apologize for the snow that's falling.
We're in the girls' dressing room here, and it's very dusty. The first question we got was, do you feel the same way when you dance in the US or in Poland?
I think dance is a universal language that can span continents, span the seas.
I feel like people are more
different.
appreciative of the arts in general in Europe. Our profession is more like valued in Europe and in Poland and here, and people kind of, when they hear you're a dancer, they're like, wow, like that's super impressive, as opposed to sometimes in the United States people think it's like a joke. They're like, oh, I used to dance when I was a little girl, like, you know, and I hate that because it's obviously so difficult, and people don't appreciate it enough in the United States. Favorite method of chicken preparation? I really like grilled chicken.
Me personally preparing it, I like pan-fried chicken. I just like chicken. Chicken's great.
Yeah.
I'll eat it anyway, except for raw.
How do you guys get space if you live and work together? We don't. We're together all the time.
Yeah.
We recently started renting, like, separate apartment in our building. It's like a place for the people that work in the theater. So we live there, and the apartments are super small, and the apartment right next to us, next door, opened. So we are now renting both. So that's been really helpful to give us more space. And Chase made that room that we just started renting his little music studio. So now he can scream in his microphone and play his guitar and not bother me.
Doesn't bother Sonia.
And it's really great. And then I can be in the other room doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Right now, no, but a lot of the time we have pretty separate rehearsals until like the end, where like we're all doing like full runs, but like Chase is usually a soloist and you have your separate rehearsals.
Yeah. We do work together, but ballet class, it's not like, you know, like a social hour or anything. We're kind of in our own zones most of the time. Rehearsal, you know, we have different parts. Like, we've never shared a part, so we have to work closely together. We're able to separate that. I feel like we do a pretty good job of giving ourselves time to be alone. It's not like we're like constantly like, so how's your day? So how's it going? Are you good?
We already know the answers to those questions. Yeah.
So.
Favorite and least favorite role you've done?
First.
Okay, this is being filmed before our premiere of Romeo and Juliet by Sasha Waltz, but I am very much enjoying this process and this piece, and I really also like Zorba the Greek, I would say. So right now, it's those two that like I've personally danced as a professional.
So right now, I think my favorite role is Romeo, because I'm preparing for Romeo, because I'm Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. That's probably my favorite role right now. When I did John for Zorba, that was a really special role to me. Those are probably my top two, so also Romeo and Juliet and Zorba.
I cannot think of my least favorite.
Ish.
But okay, it's only like my like least favorite because I have trauma, because I freaking broke my leg.
That's a valid reason to have it least favorite.
It's not the role, it was just a terrible situation. We were doing Snow White and I was the little hedgehog. The stage has moving panels like this, they move, and there's cracks in between the panels, and I did a jeté and I happened to land right in the crack, and my pinky went in the crack, and I broke my 5th metatarsal, and I was out for about 7 weeks because of that stupid hedgehog. So it's more like the situation really sucked, and now I never want to put on that costume again because it's just going to remind me of that. And it's like crazy that that was probably the easiest role technically I've ever danced, and I broke my foot from it. So probably if I had to pick, it would be that one.
My least favorite, and it's not because of the choreography or role itself. When I was dancing it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. The role is Gulgach in a ballet we have called La Mila, more of a kids ballet, I guess you could say. Gulgach was the king of the ocean. He's like a big blue blob kind of guy with this big helmet on and big eyes, and he looks like a sparkly anglerfish. The role's great. I have a great time when I'm dancing it. It's just from the beginning of the ballet, in the middle of the stage, I'm in this big giant tub, and I'm laying there, and they give me some pillows to lay there, which is super great. And the entire time, it is constantly being pumped with smoke.
Like a lagoon vibe.
Yeah, like a lagoon. And the entire time I have this gas mask on so I can breathe. I have to lay there for probably about 20 minutes before I dance. Least liked role due to just how uncomfortable that waiting period is, because I have a whole variation I do after I get out of this tub. I'm getting cold, trying to stay warm, but like you can't get up because you're like laying there and you're trying to like stay warm, like you're doing the core exercises and whatever. Then you have to get up, do a variation. Pretty fun. But then you gotta get back in the tub right after and then immediately put the gas mask on and you're like trying to breathe and you're like, one of the women that did the lead role in that ballet said she could hear me trying to breathe after I jumped back in. She could hear me like, because it's such it's so constrained and yeah.
Are you coming back to MBA this summer?
Yes.
I would like to. I have no tickets booked, but I really, really, really would like to.
I love MBA. MBA is our home. Shout out Fav Polish MBA.
How's that B?
B. It's like a uppercase B.
Who are your favorite dancers? Marina Lenunas has to be top 3. Yana Salenko, Diana Vishneva. Not a lot of people know her. Her name's Elizaveta Kokoreva. She's so good. She's now, I think, a soloist at Bolshoi. I'm obsessed with her. That's what comes to mind. I love Danielle Simkin, obviously.
Top 3 in no particular order. Kim, Danielle Simkin, and Marina Lenunas. Those are my top 3. Honorable mention, Hermen Cornejo. He's a beast.
Skylar Brandt. We saw them do Giselle.
He's a legend. Beautiful actor, awesome dancer. Shout out Hermen Cornejo.
What are your favorite Polish dishes?
Dude, pierogies hit.
I mean, yeah, like that's the obvious answer, but it's true.
Pierogies are great. I like mushroom soup. Like the one that Marisha makes. Mushroom soup is great.
Yeah, that's really good.
I hope I don't butcher this. Zupa grzybkami? Something like that?
I think that's right.
Zupa grzybkami. I hope I didn't say that wrong.
Just the way that Eastern European people make potatoes.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Potatoes are a staple.
Also, like pickled cabbage in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, pickled cabbage is pretty great.
This is probably my most asked question. Not just like in the Q&A, but just in life. How has working together affected your relationship? There's a saying, don't mix work and pleasure. And we did. And we do.
We do.
And I mean, we were aware of what we were getting ourselves into. And my dad said to me, like, before I left to come here and live with Chase, he was like, this is going to be the ultimate test of your relationship.
And it was.
Because we never really lived together before this. I mean, I love living with you despite the little things that bother me, but it's nothing like that is worth like ending our relationship or anything. It's just like really, really silly stuff. Like,
you don't gotta say it. You don't have to say it.
Okay. I would let you say something about me.
Okay. No.
Okay. You know, we've learned a lot about each other
in
in the last year. Working together, sometimes it's hard when Chase has to do like romantic roles with other girls. Especially because he's a very good actor and it's very believable, and I have to learn to separate like Chase being a certain character and Chase being my boyfriend, and sometimes it like mashes together in my brain because you are very good at what you do, but also he does a very good job at making me feel validated. And if you were like, are you being like jealous? Like that would suck. That would be a deal breaker for me. That's hard sometimes, but I feel like I'm pretty much used to it at this point. I trust you, and I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Going off of that, being fully committed to the role, because I want to always consider how she feels with everything. It would make the performance disingenuous, I feel, in certain ways. I wouldn't be able to fully commit. So that's probably, I guess, the hardest part. Like, you know, Sonia is a big girl. She can manage, I think, and we have managed. That's also kind of a difficult thing to balance. But we're good. That's the hardest part. That's literally the hardest. I love when sometimes we get to dance together. It's so much fun when we do. We get to like, you know, it is fun.
It's easier to get frustrated with each other than with someone we're not like close with, you know. So sometimes it's like that makes.
We've never had like a big like.
No. Sometimes I see Chase is doing something that I think doesn't look good, or we always start with like, hey, can I give you a correction?
Yeah, we do a pretty good job.
And something that weirdly I like, but also I think is kind of weird, is Chase always says that he has never been attracted to someone, and obviously not me now, because of their dancing. You know, I would not be able to be attracted to someone who was a bad dancer.
Really? So if I was like a mediocre to bad dancer, you could not.
No.
Goodness.
It's our career. It's like something we're so passionate about and we love and we all have an eye for, and we understand like what's good and bad. I mean, obviously everyone has their own opinion, but if you like were not good, I don't know.
Really?
Maybe if you were like really passionate and a really, really hard worker, but just like not the best, like maybe, but like no. You think you could be attracted to me if I was terrible?
Yeah.
That scares me though, because then I start to question
myself. No, but you're
myself.
not a bad dancer though.
In a way, it makes me feel better, because like if one day I feel just terrible about myself, I don't have to worry like, oh my god, Chase is definitely thinking the same way about me that I'm thinking about myself. Usually it's the opposite, and I feel like I did something terrible and he's like, no, it looked fine. I'm like, okay. If I had to list like all the reasons I love you, like you being an amazing dancer is somewhere at the end of the list. Like,
but it is a part of the list.
Like, yeah. Maybe it's not like your like technique, like wow, like
his lines are just so
no, it's
awesome.
not that. No, it's more like it's attractive when someone is really good at something.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And this it happens to be that it's dance.
That was at high five number 6.
What does a typical working day at your company look like? We work Tuesday to Saturday. We have class every morning from 10 to 11, which changes depending on which rehearsals we have. And then from 11:30 to 2, we have rehearsal. Then from 2 to 6, we have a break. And from 6 to 10-ish, 9-ish, depending on what we're doing, we also have rehearsal. So we have like different blocks in the day. Oh my god, what do you like and dislike about living in Poland?
Okay.
My parents are from Ukraine, and I feel like I was raised in a mix of like an American and Eastern European household, and a lot of Poland feels like home in that way. I mean, the food, like the people, like all remind me of like a different like version of my family, and I feel like it kind of feels homey to me because of that. I feel like I feel very safe here, which has a huge film school. Like I'm pretty sure it's like top 10 in the world, so there's a lot of people our age. There's actually more to do than you would think here, even though not a lot of people know the place. Like the food is good, like overall the people are nice, like, and when the sun is out, like this is the happiest I've experienced people. It's like they completely change, because we don't get a lot of, not that we don't get a lot of sun here, but we don't get as much as obviously we're used to in Arizona. And
yeah,
I also love that like we are so close to so many different other countries. Like we're stopping in Italy on our way home, which is like cool. Like, you know, from the US you would have to go out of your way, but it's kind of on our way home, which is so cool.
It's really cool.
And just living in Europe is, I feel like, an awesome experience to have at our age. Obviously we're not planning to live here for the rest of our life, but right now I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we were going to have this experience at any point in our life, it's right now.
Once you get to know the people here, they're like some of the most fun people, some of the most trustworthy, just enjoyable to be around, friendly, happy people. But the negative for me, I just miss the sun, man. The sun is just like,
Right
it's
now we have
tough.
sun.
Like obviously the sun is beautiful right now, but during the winter months it's tough. And obviously this is probably mainly a me problem because I'm from Arizona. I didn't mention that already. That's the thing I've struggled with the most is the weather.
Yeah, I would say same. And just the fact that it's really far from home. But that's not like specific to Poland, it's just specific to Europe.
Yeah.
But yeah. What advice would you give to other dancers considering moving abroad for their career? Something that kind of was comforting for me, like you never know until you try it.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if I came here and I was so miserable and I hated my life, I would just move home. Like, I feel like everything is a choice. Not everything, but most things are a choice.
Things, yeah.
And like, if you are not comfortable somewhere, then like you can make a change. And I just knew that if I never made the big step to move halfway across the world and live with you and start my career, like I would still be wondering to this day what could have happened. And I'm so happy that I leapt into the unknown. Something that's nice, at least, like moving abroad for their career, like if we're talking dance careers, like our company is so international. Like there are more international people than Polish people, I would say, in our company. So everyone kind of understands what you're going through. Everyone is far from their family. Maybe not as far as us, but no, I mean people that live in Japan and New Zealand and Australia are
similar,
even further.
Similar, yeah.
Everyone kind of gets what you're going through, and that makes it like a really big supportive family.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never alone. Do your research before. Like if Chase wasn't here, I would have spoke to people in the company, would have asked them what it's like what I would need to bring that they don't have here. Like I would want to know as much as I could know before.
When I came here, I didn't really do any kind of research prior, or I had no idea what I was doing or getting myself into or anything. And I'm glad that's how it kind of went, because I learned a lot from it. I got a lot of life experience here. So my advice is, I'm not going to give you advice.
Yay. I cannot even.
These are great questions. So Cruz asks, my sibling, my brother, says scooter or bike? Personally, I'd go bike. I feel like it's a lot more...
I don't know how to ride a scooter.
Electric scooters are very fun.
And they have them here.
But bikes are a lot more, I feel like, versatile. You can't take a scooter off-roading. You can't take a scooter places. It's a lot more versatile.
Okay, thank you.
Then the next question is goober or spike? First one was scooter or bike. Now goober or spike. Personally, I go with goober.
I go with goober too.
Then the next one is woozer or climb.
I go climb.
I'm gonna go woozer.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Cruz, for
Thanks,
this question.
Cruz.
Not a question. You and Sonia are just such a cute couple.
Thanks.
That was it.
That was the Q&A.
Hope we answered your questions. Let us know what you like in the comments.
Would you rather have a scooter or bike, or goober or spike? Let us know if you like this. If you want another Q&A.
Q. Wait, make a Q. Yes.
Q&A.
Q&A.
Oh god, wait. No, that's not gonna work. Thanks for watching, guys. Mwah.